Barefoot shoes are everywhere right now and conversation around them is louder than ever. But almost nobody is talking about the one thing that actually matters, whether they're right for your specific foot. Get this wrong and you're looking at months of unnecessary pain in your knee, hip or even lower back. Get it right and barefoot shoes can genuinely change how your body moves. By the end of this video, you will know exactly which foot type you have, whether barefoot shoes make sense for you, and how to test it yourself in under 2 minutes. One of the biggest lies out there today is that barefoot shoes are right for everyone. That's like saying every diet is good for every person. And it's exactly this mistake that leads to problems in the foot, knee, hip, lower back, for some people even in the neck. Let me show you why. One person swears by barefoot shoes, says they changed their life. Another person says barefoot shoes are a disaster because their knee starts doing something funky, something weird. Both of them are right, their feet are just completely different. To understand whether barefoot shoes are right for your specific foot or not, we first need to understand how the foot actually moves. Because the foot itself has to constantly change shape. Let's look at walking. When the foot hits the ground, we first get contact through the heel, and at this point the foot is already forming a higher arch. Here the thigh is turned slightly outward in external rotation. As our center of mass moves forward, the foot ends up more and more underneath us, and as a result the arch starts to lower. At this point the knee starts to turn or is turned inward. As the center of mass keeps traveling forward, the foot ends up slightly behind us and the heel starts to leave the ground. Contact under the heel and the midfoot starts disappearing and we're left with contact only through the front part of the foot. And here, once again, we get a foot with a raised arch. Healthy foot loves movement. It has to be able to change shape through different phases. It has to be able to raise arch and at a certain point lower it too. And this is where most people get it wrong. There are at least two different foot types out there. There's someone whose foot is by structure naturally flattened, a lower arch, and there's someone whose foot by structure has a raised arch, maybe even fairly high one. Now, if we take someone who structurally has a flat foot, their knee tends to turn inward pretty much all the time. That's essentially a knee that constantly wants to overtake. And this overtaking pattern isn't just visible at the knee, you can also see it through the whole chain. The thigh, the pelvis, where the body basically wants to keep pushing forward. If we put that kind of foot into a barefoot shoe, we're not helping at all. The arch is still collapsed, the knee is still turned inward. For a foot like this, it might actually make more sense to add some support on the inner part of the foot, specifically so the knee can sit a little more outward, or so the knee is a bit less in this valgus position. On the other hand, we can have a higher arched foot that turns the whole leg outwards. If this foot wears shoes that support the arch even more, it's pushed into an extreme position. Foot would be twisted even further and that would actually raise the risk of for example, ankle sprain. In this case, we probably don't need an extra support on the inner arch because the foot's own shape and structure already provide that support. A barefoot shoe would probably suit well here. It might even help me access a lower arch position, but only under condition that the foot is actually able to release some muscles and soft tissue that need to release so that the shin can move inward and, as a result, lengthen the underside of the foot. And this is exactly where most people make the biggest mistake today. Because barefoot shoes are trendy, we assume everyone should be wearing them. But it's precisely the people with more issues who need to think even harder about which shoe is actually right for them. And if after these two tests you're still not sure about what your foot actually needs, that's exactly what we can figure out together in my one-on-one training process. Link is in the description below. Okay, do two quick tests. First, look at your own foot. What does your inner arch look like? If your arch sits a bit raised, barefoot shoes are potentially a good fit for you. If your arch is completely flat, I'm not going to say never wear barefoot, but maybe don't go all in. Don't run out and replace your entire shoe closet with barefoot shoes overnight. Go step by step. Now onto a second test. Stand with your foot in front of you. You can hold onto a table or a chair for balance. Keep your heel on the ground the whole time and keep the base of your big toe on the ground too. Slowly move your knee forward and back. As your knee moves back, you should feel your arch lift slightly off the ground. As your knee moves forward, you should see your arch lower. If both of these things happen, your foot is able to change shape, which, broadly speaking, means you're in pretty good shape. It means you can move your shin outward and inward and switch between these two smoothly. Barefoot shoes aren't good or bad, they just are. The right shoe is the one that matches your foot. And once you understand your own foot, you understand what your shoes should be doing for you. If you know someone who tried barefoot shoes and didn't have the best experience, or someone who is thinking about it but isn't quite sure yet, send them this video. It might save them months of frustration and knee pain. Thank you for watching and see you next time.